8:07 to go here in the third period from the Kettering Ice Arena. Sam Weixler alongside Garrett Drake. And we've had our hands full with the technology this evening. We apologize for the lack of a camera, but we're going to do our best and go old school on the radio. Indiana in red sweaters from left to right, up 4-0. Tommy Krumzik has a goal, his first of the season, as well as two by Dilo. And Vladislav Krush tacked one on as well. Dayton's got a new netminder in, that's Zerdzik. After Schmidt went down hard. Centering pass right in front of the cage, slides away. Just prior to you returning to the broadcast here, folks, those of you listening, Indiana killed off a second penalty in a row. O'Flaherty pushes it forward toward Krush at his own blue line, trying to get a give and go going. And instead, Krush whacks it free himself. Here comes O'Flaherty at the left circle, shoots, passing over toward Krush, and it's knocked wide. Now the whistle is blown, and one linesman has his hand up as the net has come off its moorings. Well, Garrett, it appears our conversation, our brief comments about all the awesome sports jerseys in the crowd went unrecorded, unfortunately, but we do want to talk about the Ed Reed Baltimore Ravens jersey, the Wayne Gretzky New York Rangers jersey, as well as one of those old USA Basketball Dream Team pennies. I got to say, it's a pretty impressive array. Here's Null at the high slot. Dangles around one man and throws it into the near corner. Krumzik goes in, trying to make something happen with it, but it's pushed free. Lapare chips it up into the air, but meeting him is Cass, who gets sent back down onto his wallet. Under 7 to go, Indiana up by 4. Near side, flicked free, and laying chase is McCullough. Icing called, and we'll stop play and have a face-off all the way on the other side of the ice.
6:40 to go here for Indiana, leading 4-0. And again, if you're just joining us, we've been having technical issues all night that we'd like to apologize for. We're short a man, but this will not happen again this year.
Indiana wins the draw. A long wrist shot by Michelli, bounces off a body and just ricocheted wide. DiLorenzo plays it back into the far corner. Now to McDonald behind the cage. He's working the end zone, gets bounced around the glass a few times and pushes the puck free. Here's Dayton on a rush. They don't have numbers, and they're getting manhandled in the neutral zone. Michelli crosses the line, allowing DiLorenzo to re-enter the zone. Back to Michelli, who stick handles around two different flyers in the far corner. Dayton looking like they're going to try and get another line change on when they have the opportunity. Musel pushes the puck all the way into the far corner, and Dayton will get at least one new man onto the ice. A lot of new faces for Indiana in tonight's game. We don't often see Alex Shabazz. He's out there. Tommy Krumzik is out there as well. Cass and Barnett joining them. Here's McDonald, a long wrist shot that goes wide. Recovered by Timmons. He absorbs a hit, and now there's an Indiana skater down behind the net. That's McDonald. It looks like he got into a bit of a shoving match again. No harm, no foul, and no referee has their hand in the air. Both sides get a quick change. 5.5 to go here in the third. Stolen away and neutralized by Hughescroft. Bit of an arc on the wrist shot that is easily gloved by Billis. He looked like a baseball catcher handling a good curve. Shots on goal here in the third period, 5-3 in favor of Indiana.
.5:24 to go in this one. Indiana just trying to make it out and preserve the shutout for Sammy Billis.
Indiana wins the draw, trying to deal with it in the near corner, but now the whistle's been blown again for a hand pass, or so it appears, as there's plenty of yelling to suggest otherwise.
We talked about Sammy's new helmet that he got over winter break. This would be the first shutout in the new bucket for him. I know
it would be his first shutout of the season. The only man for Indiana to have a perfect outing was Nathan Chinney, who held Xavier scoreless, while his skaters ahead of him had 6 goals. And now an awkward collision as McKay goes head first and knee first into the boards. The half-dashers, if you will, on the far side. It looks like he's going to be all right and grabs his stick to keep playing. He now centers a pass to Kissel. Back toward Timmons, who flicks it along the blue line. A long wrist shot, and he scores! Chambers threw it through traffic, and now we've got pushing and shoving. It's a melee in the near corner. There's Kissel in there giving a good face wash. Now we've got some real jabs being thrown. It's about 4 different bodies piling up in the near dot, right in front of Zerdzik, who just surrendered the 5th goal of the night. Every single Zebra is in on this scrap, trying to break things up. Finally, they're yanked free of each other's grasp. And now some hand gestures, some laughing and taunting, and all kinds of words. And the crowd has some words of their own. What an environment and what a contest we've seen through the first 50 minutes and change. That'll be credited to Kissel off the long shot from the left point by Chambers. So Kissel gets goal number 11 of the season, but still trails Will Jeremy, who has 12. Jeremy obviously not dressing tonight for personal reasons. And now we're going to all stand around the scorer's table to figure out who's headed to the box, who gets ejected, and who else is going to hang around on the ice to finish this game out.
It's getting chippy here in Dayton.
Garrett, we are within not only shouting distance, but a muffled yell of the players right under us, and we could probably do an on-ice interview with one of these skaters for Indiana if we really wanted to.
We definitely can't repeat the chants that are being exclaimed here, on air at least.
4:41 to go here in the third. Score is 5-0. Goal scored for Indiana by DiLorenzo, Krusch, DiLorenzo, Krumzik, and now Kissel. We are still having an animated discussion. The linesmen have their noses buried in the glass, trying to get to the scorers directly under our feet, Garrett.
I know, there's a lot to take in right now.
Under 5 minutes to go. The scorekeepers are furiously punching in the buttons on their tablet down there that controls the scoreboard. We're seeing penalties go up on the board and come back off. Finally, they've got the score changed for a 5th one. There's the nickel for Indiana. 4:41 on the clock. And Garrett, this one has more or less devolved into chaos. Kelsey Dennehy has just alerted us that Indiana will send 2 men to the box, while Dayton will send merely 1. It appears Dayton was more or less trying to defend their netminder, their substituted netminder, who's only played about 15 minutes. Well, after scoring a goal, Jack Kissel takes a trip to the sin bin. Convicted of a 2-minute minor, it appears. McKay will join him after getting some good jabs in as a going-away present. Dayton plays the puck around in their own zone and finally pushes to the neutral ice. It's free over toward Phillips, who gets sideswiped and somehow is able to stay up on his skates. To the left point, that's Macula. His shot deflects off one skate blade and off a twig as well. 4:20 to go here in the game. Indiana up by 5. Dayton on the power play. It's a 5-on-4. Lazy wrist shot along the ice. Didn't cause anyone much trouble. Goodfellow pinning a man against the wood and now onto the glass. Whacked at as he pushes the puck free. Finally cleared all the way down the ice and bouncing off the wood behind the net. Indiana will get 4 new guys on, and Dayton will try to change lines as well. On a breakaway, here's Dilio. He's got some space, shoots, and it's off the bar and out. Still in play. Over toward the right point, Dayton holds the blue line. A long shot from Phillips that bounces off the side of the cage. Being jabbed at, a second chance. Another big whack by Clark. Wrist shot by Phillips hits the post. My goodness. That's 2 iron draws in a row, and now Timmons is in a shoving match behind the play. Zerdzik comes out of the crease in the Dayton defending zone to play the puck. Still 35 seconds remaining on this power play. An Indiana skater, that's O'Flaherty, gets thrown down. Pardon me, Chambers gets thrown down, trying to free the puck.
I tell you what, if Billis ends up getting this shutout, he's going to have to buy that post-dinner, Sam.
Without a doubt, Garrett. On the rush, here's Clark weaving through the slot. Leaves it over toward Barola. His shot bounces off the leg pad of Billis. The puck comes free again. Billis leaning over onto his right leg pad, then has to scramble back to the left side. One-timer did not go from Dilio. He finally retrieves it, and a long wrist shot goes into the corner. One Dayton Flyer broke their twig, and that's how the penalty ends. My goodness, a furious penalty kill for Indiana, but Dayton still on the attack. Wraparound attempt, and a centering pass right in front of Billis. He slams his glove hand on top of the puck to stop play with 2:27. Garrett, that is the most active penalty kill we've seen Indiana have probably all year.
And a Dayton player is getting sent off right here. I believe it was number 12. He slashed Timmons after the play. This game just continuing to get more and more trippy.
Well, that slash was not the original offense. Those two were having a war of words for a good 15 or 20 seconds behind the play, nowhere near the puck. Shots on goal are even after that crazy power play by Dayton, although they could not take advantage of it. 2 minutes are on the board under Dayton's column. They still have a big goose egg in the score column. Indiana with 5 and 2.5 to go here in this contest in what should have been the second game in a home-and-home. But unfortunately, last night's game at the Frank had to be canceled after Dayton could not make the travel, evidently. Face-off will take place to the glove side of the Dayton netminder, won by Indiana. Back to McKay, letting Kenyon work the blue line. Wrist shot through traffic, bouncing off a man into the cage and scores! Jack Kissel says he scored, and he does. That will be his second of the night. It's 6-0 Indiana. And now the Cream and Crimson have started to pile on. Kissel drawing even with Will Jeremy, 12 goals apiece. And he's got to be thrilled about that deflection. He was standing at the back post. Kenyon's wrist shot hit Zerdzik in the chest, bounced down to the feet of Kissel, who must have gotten the toe of his stick onto the puck and knocked it in.
Second goal of the period here for Kissel, and he continues to dominate on the offensive end.
Garrett, I have to imagine there will be more physical play. Here's Di Lorenzo in front of the cage, shoots, and the net comes off its moorings, but no one notices. Net is loose by about 2 inches on the far post. Indiana still playing with 2 minutes to go. Timmons throws a shot through traffic that nearly caught Michelli in a very bad spot. Back to McKay in the far corner. Indiana still on the attack. They've hemmed Dayton deep in the zone. Michelli, a centering pass toward McKay. He mishandles it, and it slides all the way down for Traeger. He gets bodied. Timmons dispossesses him. 90 seconds to go. 6-0 Indiana. They're up by a touchdown. Save the extra point. McDonald sends a pass halfway across the neutral zone before it's stolen away. Traeger again at the far circle. Di Lorenzo steals it and circles around his own cage. Another big hit as Timmons puts his back into the wall. Fans are calling for a foul as Traeger goes down onto his shin protectors, but the puck floats free. McDonald on an odd man rush. He's got Michelli and D'Lo with him. Chips it free, whacked high into the air by Michelli. We're at 69 seconds to go in this game. Now Dayton's got a rush of their own. Furious back and forth counters. Ward stick handles. Near side circle, shoots, and it goes wide of the bar. McDonald pushes the puck free, but it stays in the near side. A quick one-timer right in front of it. Billis punches it away with his waffle board. Under a minute to go. That's 40 seconds on the clock. And Garrett, although the score is not in doubt, this has been an entertaining hockey game that I think anyone would have been happy to see and pay money for.
There's no question about that, Sam. Dayton, they've struggled in every other aspect of the game besides the physicality, but they really brought it in terms of the energy, just no points.
10 seconds remaining. Indiana up by that 6-point margin we talked about as they play it around amongst themselves in their own defending zone. Nell chips it free. Playing toward Kissel, who crosses the blue line. Leaves it for a man, and a rugby scrum ensues. So that's how this game comes to an end. The Dayton Flyers dropping this TSCHL matchup by the score of 6-0, and the Cream and Crimson put a tally in the win column. Indiana moves to 14-5-1 on the season and have won 10 out of the last 11, Garrett. This is a team that is red hot going into the meat and potatoes of their season with the TSCHL tournament, and knock on wood, the ACHA regionals, should they move through that as well.
It's really been a heck of a run, Sam. At the beginning of the year, they looked like just an average team. Obviously, a lot of new faces. Cade Kenyon mentioned that in practice on Tuesday. A lot of the freshmen just had to find their way and incorporate themselves into this lineup. And now they're looking really solid, and they're hot at just the right time as we get ready for the playoffs.
Final shots on goal tally from our man Will Kicker, 35-27. Will, did you have any thoughts you wanted to add after that really physical period? It looked like everyone was getting battered around.
Finally Indiana decided to wake up, really brought it to them that period. It's good to see the boys get the dub. Dayton's a little salty, but, we have a nice bus ride home, and go Hoosiers.
Well, you have the bus ride. We've got to drive. See you at home kick. Well, alongside Garrett Drake and Kelsey Dennehy, I'm Sam Weixler. We'll come back with the final tallies and stats to wrap it up on the postgame show. But for Sam Weixler, this is Club Ice Hockey at Indiana University on the Indiana Hockey Broadcast Network. The Cream and Crimson put a tally in the win column, 6-0 the final score.